Lena's face filled my screen before I could even say hello. Her voice was low, tense. "Aurelia, are you seeing the family chat? I muted it 7 months ago," I said. "Why you need to look. Right now." Something in her tone made my stomach tighten. I opened the thread, and the first image stopped me cold. My mother, Vivian Shaw, standing in the lobby of the Mercer Exchange, my building smiling like she owned the place. More pictures flooded in. Damien pacing around a third-floor unit, recording a tour for his followers. Celeste live streaming from the second floor, telling her kids to pick a corner. My father in the background, measuring walls with the confidence of someone preparing a takeover. Vivian's messages scrolled upward in neat, confident lines. "We are finalizing the management plan. Once we optimize tenant flow, this building will finally reach its potential. We will present the new layout tonight." I stared at those words. They were not claiming ownership, they were claiming control. Lena's voice shook through the phone. "They have been here for hours. Your mom said the tenant spaces will be reorganized once you agree." Agree to what? My voice came out sharper than I intended. "She said you will understand when you arrive." Of course she did. I grabbed my bag and my keys. "Lena, thank you. And listen if you want to hear how this ends. Stay with me. I'll explain everything as it unfolds." She nodded. "Just go. Before they start changing locks." The call ended. The family chat pinged again. Vivian posting a photo of my own penthouse with the caption "Final evaluation before we proceed." I felt heat rise under my skin. They were not confused. They were not careless. They were planning. And I was already late. I called Miles as I crossed the parking structure. He picked up on the first ring. "Aurelia, I was about to message you. Tell me exactly what happened," I said. "Your mother arrived this morning with a copied emergency key. She told the contractor she was acting as interim building manager. She spoke like everything had already been approved." My jaw locked. I never authorized that. "I know, but she had papers, printed schedules, floor charts." Miles hesitated. "It looked planned." "Of course it did." I ended the call and immediately dialed Graham Ito. He answered with the calm of someone who had handled far worse than family drama. "Aurelia," he said, "Miles sent me photos. Your mother is positioning herself as a management partner, not an owner. It is subtle but dangerous. They think I owe them something." I replied. "Edmund introduced me to one contractor 12 years ago, and Damien took photos during renovation. Vivian co-signed a car loan when I was 22. They turned all of it into a lifelong claim." Graham exhaled slowly. "This is classic. Not a legal claim, an emotional one that they are trying to shape into leverage. I am heading to Harbor Line now." "Good, because they are reorganizing tenant spaces in my building." He paused. "Then we stop them before they believe they have authority." As I ended the call, the group chat pinged again. Damien had posted a video of himself walking through a third-floor unit. "Studio reveal coming soon," he wrote. The message was not clueless. It was a warning. Graham and the 2 security officers met me at the curb. He closed his car door quietly, like he already anticipated trouble. "They are still inside," he said. Miles confirmed they have moved into the second and third floors. I pushed open the main door with my owner's code. Voices drifted down the stairwell, animated, confident, like a team preparing for a launch. Halfway up the steps, Celeste's voice rose. "The natural light here is perfect for the kids' learning area. We will just need to adjust the shelving," Damien answered. "I can take the unit facing the river. Once I turn it into a studio, we can pitch a media proposal. It elevates the building's brand." Graham lifted an eyebrow at me. "Brand." We stepped into the third-floor unit. 15 people filled the space. Folding tables stretched along the wall, covered with food trays. Edmund stood with a clipboard, pointing out imaginary improvements. A cousin held a measuring tape against the far window. Vivian turned first. Her smile was polished, bright. "Aurelia, there you are. We were just reviewing the operational plan. Operational plan, I said? Damien waved a hand, impatient. We cannot wait for you to decide. The building needs direction. We are filling the leadership gap. Celeste chimed in. You will thank us later. This place has so much potential once we streamline the flow. I stepped further inside. Who told any of you that you had authority here? Vivian did not flinch. We are not discussing ownership. We are discussing management, a family venture. We are doing what you never have time to do. Graham opened his briefcase. Mrs. Shaw? Ms. Shaw did not enter any partnership with you. Vivian folded her arms. Not formally, but effort matters. History matters. Contribution matters. I met her eyes. Nothing you are doing here is authorized. The room fell silent, but no one stepped back. They stood there like people who believed the takeover had already begun. Vivian didn't break eye contact. Aurelia, you are misreading the situation. We are not claiming the building. We are claiming operational involvement. There is a difference. Graham stepped forward, calm but firm. There is no operational involvement without a contract. Edmund lifted his clipboard. We are not here to fight. We are here to implement improvements. This building could be worth far more with proper oversight. Whose oversight, I asked. Family oversight, he replied, as if it were obvious. Damien crossed his arms. You have been overwhelmed for months. Half these units sat empty while you were busy with other projects. We stepped in to help stabilize things. That is what partners do. You are not my partners, I said. Celeste placed a stack of printouts on the table. We drafted a new leasing model. It reflects the collective vision. Every successful enterprise has a board. Consider this our first meeting. Their confidence was surgical, not chaotic, not delusional strategic. Graham set his leather folder beside Celeste's papers and opened it slowly. Here is the purchase agreement for the Mercer Exchange. Signed solely by Ms. Aurelia Shaw. Purchased for $2,250,000 through her company. Vivian didn't look at the documents. We know what she paid. That is not the point. Then what is I asked? Contribution. She answered. Support. The foundation we gave you. Your father introduced you to one of your earliest contractors. Damien assisted during initial renovations. I co-signed your car loan when you were 22. We invested in you long before you invested in this building. That was family life, I said. Not a contract. Vivian's expression sharpened. Family life creates obligation. Graham's voice sliced through the tension. Obligation does not equal legal authority. For a moment, no one moved. Then, Damien leaned forward, jaw tight. We are not asking for permission. We already started. The tenants will benefit. The building will benefit. You will benefit. I closed the folder on the table. No, I will not. Damien let out a short laugh. You say no now, but once you calm down, you will see we are right. This building needs structure, and we are the only ones willing to give it. You mean take it? I said. Celeste stepped forward, smoothing her blouse like she was preparing for a presentation. Aurelia, look at the big picture. You have been stretched thin. Your software projects, your other properties, your constant travel. You cannot be everywhere. We are offering stability. You are offering intrusion, I replied. Vivian's voice softened in a way that made the air feel heavier. We are offering presence. You drift. You always have. This building is our chance to bring you home. I felt something old and sharp press in my chest. You never wanted me home, I said quietly. You wanted me manageable. Her eyes flickered offense mixed with something more fragile. Is that what you believe? It is what you showed me? I turned to the papers still on the table. When I sent updates about this building, you called it a hobby. When I invited you to the opening, you said you were busy. When I told you I was renovating, you said I was wasting money. Damien lifted his chin. You were floundering at the time. Someone had to ground you. You mocked me. I said, all of you. Celeste's tone sharpened. We were trying to protect you from unrealistic ideas. Graham spoke before I could answer. Protection is not ownership, and it is not partnership. Vivian's composure cracked. Everything we did was for your future. And now that you have one, you do not want us in it. I met her gaze. I wanted support. You wanted influence. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Vivian whispered, if we all lived here, you could not leave us again. The room went still. I stepped back, and that is why none of you can stay. Graham signaled the security officers, and their presence shifted the room instantly. No one yelled. No one panicked. My family was too polished for that. But the air tightened, like everyone had agreed silently not to lose face. Edmund cleared his throat. This is unnecessary. Aurelia, we can discuss adjustments without theatrics. There are no adjustments, I said. You entered my building without authorization. You attempted to assume management without a contract. You are leaving. Damien stepped forward, jaw locked. If you force us out like criminals, people will talk. Is that what you want? Graham answered, calm and unwavering. Mr. Shaw, you are being escorted out because you are trespassing. That is not a narrative issue. It is a legal one. Celeste gathered her things in tight, angry movements. You are humiliating your own family. Your nieces were excited about this space. Do you even care I did not look away from her? Do not use your children to justify crossing boundaries. Vivian finally spoke, voice low and steady. This choice will follow you. Remember that. Her tone was not a threat. It was a promise of future retaliation, calculated and cold. The officers guided them toward the stairs. No shouting, no chaos. Just quiet resentment and restrained fury, the kind that settles deep. When the last cousin stepped out, Miles arrived with a new set of keypads. We will change every lock tonight, he said, and update all access codes. I nodded. Do it. The family chat buzzed on my phone. New messages, carefully worded. Vivian. We were asked to leave during a planning meeting. Very unfortunate. Celeste Aurelia overreacted. Again. Their tone was measured, controlled. They were already rewriting the story. 3 weeks passed before the certified letter arrived. Thick envelope. Law firm I did not recognize. My name printed across the front like an accusation. I opened it on my kitchen counter, hands steady until they weren't. Inside was a lawsuit, not for ownership. For management rights, profit participation, and an informal family joint venture they claimed began over a decade ago. I called Graham immediately. He arrived within the hour, scans already on his tablet. They knew not to go after the deed, he said. So they went after the part they can make messy. This is strategic, I said. It is. They are hoping you will offer a small percentage or a residency concession to avoid a prolonged fight. I sat down. They think the pressure will break me. He nodded. Because this type of lawsuit is not about winning. It is about wearing you down. The first hearing came fast. Damien and Celeste sat confidently behind their attorney. Vivian held her posture like a woman certain of her narrative. Their lawyer began with a rehearsed tone. The Shaw family contributed to early development decisions. Their efforts formed an oral joint venture. They seek recognition of their role. He displayed an old email I once sent during the renovation phase. We will make this building something great. Damien lifted his chin at me as if he had found the smoking gun. For a moment, my breath stalled. I remembered writing that line. I remembered wanting my family to believe in me. I remembered being naive. Graham rose slowly. His voice was precise. Your Honor, this phrasing is aspirational, not contractual. There are no shared bank accounts, No co-signed construction contracts, no recorded contributions, no revenue agreements, and no written partnership of any kind. He placed copies of every lease, invoice, and wire transfer before the judge. After a long pause, the judge issued the ruling case dismissed. The family ordered to reimburse me $11,900 in legal fees. Outside the courtroom, Vivian approached me. Her voice was soft, unshaken. This was not justice, Aurelia. This was paperwork. I stepped past her. Paperwork was exactly how empires and boundaries were protected. The lawsuit ended, but the shift came quietly. Damien texted first. "Look, things got heated. I am willing to start fresh. Do you have any entry-level management roles I could grow with the company?" It was not reconciliation. It was repositioning. Celeste called the next day. Her voice sweetened for effect. "The kids loved that second-floor unit. If you could offer a family rate, we could move in next month. It would help everyone heal." Heal was a convenient word. That evening, Edmund stopped by my office unannounced. He closed the door gently, like we were co-conspirators. "You are expanding fast," he said. "Commercial properties require experienced guidance. I would be open to an advisory partnership. Discreet, of course." I let him finish. Then I spoke the same sentence to each of them, separately, without softness or apology. "No, I am not offering access in any form." Damien stiffened. Celeste exhaled sharply, offended. Edmund's face hardened in quiet frustration. They all wanted something not me, not connection, not repair, just proximity to what they once tried to take. When the last conversation ended, I closed my laptop, feeling the weight settle and lift at the same time. The door to what they wanted stayed shut. I walked the hallway of the top floor, the soft hum of the building steady beneath my feet. The Mercer Exchange felt different now, quiet, balanced, mine again. Downstairs, the cafe's evening rush had begun, voices rising and falling like a reminder that life continued even when families fractured. Miles stepped out of the elevator, handing me a folder. Updated tenant reports. He said, "Everyone settled in. No issues." "Good," I replied. "That is exactly what this place needed." He nodded and headed back down. I moved toward the penthouse windows, the city lights stretching across Harbor Line like a map of choices I had made alone. Vivian's voice still lingered from our last encounter, soft, persistent, certain she had the right to shape my world. But she did not stand here now. I did. The lock on my door clicked behind me as I stepped into the cool night air of the balcony. My phone buzzed with messages from friends, tenants, colleagues, people who saw me without wanting to use me. For a moment, I let myself breathe. If you are listening to this, stay with me. There is more to this story, more I learned, more I built, more lines I had to draw. And if you have ever had to draw your own boundaries, I hope you keep going. Below me, Harbor Line shimmered. I stayed where I was, steady in the place they once tried to claim.